guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna and I'm a little bit spooky, and today we are wear testing and reviewing the Physicians Formula Better Believe It foundation and concealer in one product. I know, I'm a little off my game. I haven't filmed in a little while and now I've got too much caffeine in me, so I'm just gonna... But anyway, we're gonna be reviewing this, demoing it, and doing a wear test of this magical little foundation right here. Spoiler, this is my skin 4 hours in. But I think it looks freaking fantastic. So, spoiler is that I like this foundation a lot. But we're going to wear test it and I'm going to check in at the very end of the day after it's been on at least 8+ hours. I think we're going to try to go for 10 hours and see how it looks after that. But this is 4 hours in and we are looking pretty dang good. Nice soft matte finish, and yeah, if that interests you, just go ahead and keep on watching. Hello. All right, who's ready to test out a foundation? I am. It's my favorite thing to test out. I love wear testing and trying out foundations. There's something really fun about that. I don't know what it is, but something I can kind of nerd out over. And today we will be testing out the Physicians Formula Better Believe It foundation and concealer. Okay, here's something I want to point out that I have noticed. I've had this for about 2 weeks now, and it separates. You can see there's oil separating at the top of the bottle. So definitely this is one that you need to shake up. I can see where it's like breaking up within the bottle. So there's that. So I'm going to give it a really good shake. I want to go ahead and point that out because I just noticed it, and I think that's quite important to mention. So let's shake her up and then we will demo this and go over the claims. I'm not going to apply any primer today or concealer because this boasts being a 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. So we're going to see if it can do that for me. Give it a good shake. All right, it's looking good mixed up. Now imagine it's separated because it is made with a lot of butters. 3 butters, in fact. It has Mura butter and 2 others that I cannot pronounce, and that will be on the screen with the whole description of this product, but I cannot pronounce those other names. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started applying this, and we will talk about some of the claims. To apply, I'm going to use my Flawless Face Sponge from e.l.f., and I'm going to start with 1 pump, and this is over just my regular skincare, which has been on for a couple of hours now because I've been messing around doing stuff and preparing to film, but I did use the Sunday Riley Ceramide Cream today and a bit of the Josie Maran Argan Pro Retinol Eye Corrector over the eyes. And that is all that's on my face at the moment, aside from some eyeshadow, obviously, which I didn't even clean up the fallout from. Alright, I had a little bit of glitter fallout on my face, or shimmer I had to take care of. Okay, so we're going to start with 1 pump on the back of my hand. This is a very thick, creamy formula, which it does claim to be very creamy and emollient, and it is definitely that. And it is quite thick, and just feels really nice. Like, I like the texture of this. It's so just rich. It feels like a really heavy, nice moisturizer. Alright, so I'm going to dot some on my face. It also feels really good going on your skin. It does have a slight coconut fragrance to it, which is not my favorite thing in the world, but this one's like not a bad, overpowering coconut. Like, it doesn't bother me, but coconut is not my favorite fragrance. That's why I don't usually get into the Physicians Formulas products too often, because they all smell like coconut. Anyway, it does have that kind of buttery coconut smell to it, kind of tropical smell. And this is the shade Fair. This is the lightest shade in the range as well. Alright, and this is just like maybe, this is a whole pump in my hand. I maybe applied a quarter of it to my face. So let's go ahead and blend it out and see what the coverage looks like, and if we want to add more. Now this does claim to be very buildable, and I think it definitely is buildable. In my experience with it thus far, I have been using this for, I don't know, maybe on and off for a month now, here and there, but I haven't like wear tested it and really focused in on how well it performs. So that's what we'll be doing today, and really putting it to the test and reviewing it. Now, to me, the shade is a little bit yellow on me, but when I blend it out, it actually looks really nice. But when I first swatch it and apply it, look how yellow that looks. And then when I blend it out, it is an incredible match for my skin tone, which I was quite shocked at. And speaking of the shade range, it is weird. I mean that as in it's only 12 shades, but it hits a lot of shades within that 12 shades. Like, there's a lot of variation in there. Like, it goes from matching me all the way to a very deep dark. It's not a nuanced shade range. There's not a lot of undertones. There's not a lot of variety in it, but they hit like a lot of key shades within that range. I'm trying to think how to describe that. Like, there's no nuance to it. Like, there's not a subtle differences because there's only 12 shades, but they hit a broad spectrum within that 12 shades. Could they do better? Yeah. I think that they might need to tweak undertones. Like, personally, this one has a bit more of a yellow undertone to it, and my ideal foundation would be a little bit more neutral, but I think this does match me fairly well, as you can see. And it is blending in like a dream. Very easy, very nice coverage. And this is a very light layer, which would be great for just every day, just to run out the door. I would say a quarter of a pump would be just fine for me. But yeah, that is one little light layer. So let's build it up and add a little more where we need it, kind of on the perimeter here, which where I have more of my redness is like right here. And take a little more on the chin and around this area. And I'm still working with just the one pump. Here's I just want a little more coverage. And to me, the scent doesn't linger, so that's also quite nice. This formula is infused with 3 different types of butters, one of them being Muru, but I can't pronounce any of the butters that's in this, so yeah, like I said, that'll be on the screen. So this creamy texture that it claims to have, and it says that it should melt into the skin, and it really does. I feel like this does melt so beautifully into the skin and just sit so nicely. And this is no primer, nothing, just a little bit of skincare 2 hours ago. And I think it looks really, really beautiful finish. There's a flawlessness to this product that I am absolutely in love with. It claims to be very buildable, which, yeah, it is. It says that the finish it'll leave you with is a nice radiant glow, which I agree. It is a radiant glow, but it's not oily looking. It's not super glowy. It's just kind of that perfect glow. Like, it's very, very skin-like finish to me. It just has a very nice, natural look to it. And I think that finish is just so pretty. All right, so I'm just making sure we're all blended. And, I mean, this took no time to blend out. And I think it really does look flawless across the cheeks. And I have a lot of, texture within this area and on my forehead from just acne and congested skin, and it doesn't emphasize any of that. It doesn't emphasize pores. If anything, I feel like it minimizes them and makes them look very smooth. Everything looks quite flawless and looks like you did use a primer. Okay, so let's see if we can make this work as concealer. So I've still got that same pump on the back of my hand. I'm taking some of my finger. I'm just going to tap it where I usually apply concealer, right in this region. Now, the only thing that I'm not a huge fan of using foundations as concealers, because I tend to use a little bit of a lighter shade under my eye, which, I mean, you can do, obviously. You don't have to use this as concealer. But I just want to see how well it... Oh my god, what is this? What? Are you kidding me? My sponge landed in some black eyeshadow, apparently. How many times does this happen in a video? I mean, really? Really? Jesus. Okay, so I'm gonna wipe that off. Right there and fix that. Just went and washed my sponge and wiped that little spot off. I'm glad that happened now and not when my face was finished. So now it's dried up on the back of my hand. It got washed off. So I'm going to have to take a little bit more of my foundation. I'm just going to take a tiny little bit. Like literally that much. A little teeny dollop. And I'm going to continue blending this under the eye here where I was blending. And my sponge is damp. And fix that little area right here. That does give really nice coverage on the eye though. Like, yeah, it looks like I put on concealer. I think this would definitely cover acne spots super well. Like, I don't see my freckles really through it. Like, it's pretty full coverage. And you can get away and get it kind of a lighter coverage and build it up. I really like the versatility of this product. I like how it can apply it in a nice light layer. Still see my freckles and everything just looks a little bit perfected, but then I can build it up and really cover trouble spots at the same time. That's so nice. All right, let's do this side. I think this is quite a thick formula, so it does really cover well and feels so, it really does feel quite weightless on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy, but it's like all the benefits of a full coverage foundation without that heavy matte feeling. I notice a lot of times full coverage foundations tend to be very matte, and that is not my preference. I don't like matte foundations a whole lot. I like skin-like kind of soft matte I'm fine with, but like when it's too matte, it's not for me. But this one is just that perfect level. And I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror in the bathroom when I went to go wash my sponge off. I was like, holy shit, my skin looks amazing. Like, this foundation is freaking beautiful. If I can get in here a little bit closer where you can see. I'm just making sure I got everything covered. And look at that. It covered my dark circles in my eyes. It doesn't look heavy under my eyes. Worked perfectly. And this is about a pump of foundation. Now, I'm not a full coverage kind of gal. This is about as full coverage as I tend to go. And I think this is just perfection. This is a very perfecting foundation. So I'm very pleased with it. Right. Okay. So now that we got that on, it kind of just really does melt into the skin and become one with it. Like, you don't see the foundation. Like, I know you can tell I got foundation on, right? No makeup is invisible, but this is one of the most soft focus looking, almost, it's very kind of blurring. It looks like you have a filter on. Like, it's gorgeous. It has just this beautiful softening effect to the skin and really does hide imperfections and make things look so smooth and seamless. Like, I can't see, like, pores, fine lines, all that just looks smoothed out and softly blurred, like you put on a pore feeling type of primer. That is pretty freaking cool. I always had trouble around my nose trying to get that good and blended in there. Yeah, I think this is a great foundation. Wow. I mean, I've used it a few times, but I've not really looked like that close to it. I was like, when I applied, I was like, oh, that's pretty. But I didn't really pay attention. Now I'm like really in here focusing on it, looking in my mirror, and whew, I am liking what I see. This is legit a beautiful product. I think you could take this product on a little pinpoint concealing brush and get in there and hide every tiny imperfection like you would with like a soft matte, NARS soft matte concealer or something. Like, you could really ultra perfect your skin with this product. And it's good. It looks so good. So it claims to be long wearing. Now we're going to test out that long wearing today. I have a pretty busy day. I'm going to be cleaning up in here, doing some organizing, shopping my stash, because it's a mess. I got to do some admin work. I've got to do some stuff around the house. We're prepping for like a garage sale, and I've got to put away my Halloween decorations. Like, I got a busy little day ahead of me. And so far, things look great, and we're going to see what this looks like at the end of the day. Now, what I'm going to do next is lightly powder my T-zone and any areas that tend to need powdering. I'm not going to do like a heavy all over the face baking situation, nothing like that, because that's not what I do on a day-to-day basis. But for powder, let's use the number 7 Lift and Illuminate. That's one of my favorite powders. It's one I'm very familiar with. I know how it performs on my skin, and yeah, I don't want to put too much because I don't want that to interfere with the foundation itself. And yeah, I just want to set right here under the eyes, very lightly. Oh, the combination of these two, talk about flawless. Because this is one of the best setting powders on the market, or pressed powders on the market rather too. I like to just set around my nose. I'm not intending on leaving the house today, so I'm not going to be able to do like wear a mask or anything like that. So I'm not sure how it's going to hold up under that. But for a nice busy day at home, we'll see how it holds up. And I'm just lightly dusting this powder everywhere in the T-zone. And small lines. I'm using a very, small brush. So we're not overly powdering the skin today. And I'm not going to go in with like flawless filter or anything like that that's going to change the way my skin looks so much. And not going to use like my e.l.f. Halo Glow powder, nothing like that, because I want to see what the natural radiance of this product looks like on its own. I'm just going to take a little bit around here, where I'm going to apply my blush and bronze and get that set. All right, so now right now we have a nice soft matte finish, which I think is kind of perfect. It's just a really good classic type of finish for foundation that I think looks very flattering and very perfected. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my face and my back to get ready to start that little wear test and see how things are going. Alright, I'll see y'all in just a minute. Alright, and we are back. This is the face all complete. Close up here of the way the skin is looking. It looks softly matte, kind of just perfect. To be honest, I've had the foundation on for like 4 hours already. This is 4 hours in because I got distracted. We went and grabbed some breakfast, and then pumpkin tore into the trash. It was just kind of one of those little things where you just had to stop and do a million things, and before you know it, it's 4 hours later. Anyway, so the makeup's obviously held up really well and looks really beautiful on the skin. Like I've eaten breakfast and everything, it still is all in one piece. It still has that nice soft radiance to it with a little bit of a soft matteness as well. Like it's just very, very skin-like. It looks filtered. It looks like I have used a smoothing tool on my face, and I kind of love that. This foundation looks freaking gorgeous 4 hours in, so I will check in with you, I don't know, maybe another 4 hours in a little while, and we will see how things are holding up so far. I'm loving the way this looks, and my nose is a little red looking, or I put blush on my nose, so that's why that looks a little different, and I have blush and a little bit of highlighter here. So anyways, I'll see you guys in just a little bit for a check-in, and we'll see how it's holding up. So far, amazing. Amazing. I am floored. We are 12 hours in. So glare. Sorry about that. Let me turn this way. But yeah, 12 hours in. And I think we are looking pretty good. A little dewy, but it doesn't feel oily. It's just a little extra radiant than it was earlier. And you can see my lovely glasses mark, which always happens no matter what I do. But everywhere else looks pretty dang good, just a little shiny. But I think that's nothing a little touch-up couldn't fix. And like, I didn't do a whole lot of powder today, didn't do a primer, nothing like that. So I took my little brush with whatever's residual on it. Yeah, that kind of takes it down. But yeah, there's no breaking up anywhere. Everything looks like it did this morning. Just a little shiny, obviously, but other than that, and this little spot right here, I wonder if I could tap that out. Not really, but yeah, everywhere else I think looks pretty good considering, you know, it's a decent amount of time to be in a foundation, and the breakdown really isn't, there's no wearing away of the product. I just got a little dewy, but that tends to happen to me anyway. I do have kind of combo skin, so I will get a little bit of shine showing through at like the 12-hour mark, but usually it takes usually about 10 hours in that it starts to fall apart on me or get shiny, and that's if, you know, with a good foundation, so that's normal. And I think this one held up really well, very long wearing. So my only little problem was this, and that's just my glasses, and there's everything does that to me. And again, this is with minimal powder, no primer, nothing like that, just a foundation on its own, and I think it did fantastic. So big thumbs up from me on the Physicians Formula Butter Believe It foundation. Wear time formula is beautiful. Shade range could use some work. But otherwise, that is all for me today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye now.